Yeah, I think yoga in general, whether it be for musicians or any other type of person or anything like that, it's just yoga to me is a way to get in touch with myself. And if you take other classes from your local gym or Y, or even yoga studios, if you have those in the area, I'd strongly suggest people taking classes. The key, though, is to find a class that can resonate with you, because a lot of times people will say, oh, I've tried yoga before and it doesn't work. And it could be a type of yoga where it's in a really hot room or it's really intense. There's so many different styles of yoga out there. So if you are interested in learning more about these things, I would see if you can try a bunch of different classes to see which ones can actually work for you. As far as the styles of yoga go, if you want a really intense class, that would be more of a Bikram style or Ashtanga style yoga. A more calming, relaxing yoga could be any one of the Hatha yogas. The Kripalu style, which I teach, is very relaxing. Restorative is actually another word that you'd want to look for if you really want to be more of introspective and rather than having it be a workout. So a lot of times people will label different courses, but you don't really know what they are until you actually go to the class and participate. And every teacher is different too, even though they may teach a particular style. In the style of yoga that I teach, I will always tell my students that it's really important to work within your body's limits. So if there's something that I'm leading that doesn't feel right for your body, please feel free to back away. I always give different modifications. It goes back to the no pain, no gain. I don't believe in that, and I don't encourage my students to work that way. So I always say if there's any sharp sensation in the body, that's your body's signal telling you to immediately move away. So if you're going to yoga classes that are saying do more, do more, do more, and your body is saying no, you really should be listening to what your body is saying. And I think the yoga actually will teach you how to be more aware of what's happening in your body. So if you're dealing with like an overuse injury, there are actually different exercises and stretches and strengthening exercises that can actually help make the ailment better, or the area of the body that is in pain. But even more importantly, it's helpful to prevent those types of injuries, because you're being more in tune with your body. So when your shoulder is hurting, rather than continuing in that same position, well, maybe I need to change my position a little bit. I mean, for many years, when I play the flute, that's my main instrument. And for many years, I had a lot of shoulder pressure here. And it's like, well, if I just change it a little bit, or maybe take breaks, maybe I'm practicing too long. And that's another thing where people just get into the practice mode, and they're so focused and concentrating on what their music is. Hours could go by. You get in that zone. I mean, that's very meditative. So you just kind of like go into that zone, and you're practicing and you're playing, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I can't believe I was just here for that long, and why am I hurting so much? So if you just kind of back away a little bit and say, okay, wait a minute, if I adjust myself or just take a break, maybe I need to make a little stretch, or maybe I need to do something with my shoulders to release it, that can be very useful. Each instrument actually has its own set of issues that they're working with and dealing with. And guitar is like you're on this side, you're kind of like very imbalanced, just like a flute player is like this, you're imbalanced this way. So it's like constantly being able to say, okay, wait a minute, I'm always like this. Well, maybe I need to do something over here, or maybe I need to balance my posture, or how you're carrying your instrument, or how you're practicing. Yeah, I would say the key practice with practicing yoga is to be aware of what's happening in your body. And as long as you bring that awareness to your body, and sometimes, like what I was saying earlier, that if you think you're doing it a certain way, and you actually look at the body part, and it's like, wait a minute, I thought it was there. So sometimes we don't really know until you actually physically look, or look in front of a mirror. How are you carrying yourself? In your guitar, are you like this all the time? Or are you slouched? Are you, if you sat up like this, you'd allow the energy to flow a lot freer.